Yo, welcome to the Tom and Will FPL show. My name is Tom. We are bringing you a cheeky little sneaky episode to disclose our final teams. It's deadline day. It's been a long time coming and we are here. You're going to get my team today and then I'm going to throw it over to Will to give you his team. He is walking, he's somewhere, I don't know where, he doesn't know where. But he does have a team. I've seen it. It's decent. It's approved. It's not a million miles off the one that we picked for him earlier in the week. But I'll leave him to disclose that team. But let's kick off with my team. So where we were at the beginning of the week was I'd settled on a bench boost game week 2. That is still the case. However, out of nowhere, with 2 days left before the deadline, I decided I wanted to have a little cheeky look at a Haaland draft. This is something I hadn't looked at all summer, but I think the fact that I was just kind of stepping away from Mo a little bit made me think that I wanted another big gun as a captaincy option. And also I don't mind Haaland's first fixtures. I think he's actually got the better fixtures between the two. Other reasons why I've gone for Haaland at this point is I just kind of fell out of love with the Palmer pick as well. So I had a draft at the beginning of the week, which we talked about, which didn't have Salah in, but it had Haaland and it had Saka. You're going to see with my team that those guys are no longer in, and that being what it is, made sense for me to go to Haaland. But let me give you the whole team, the whole rundown, bearing in mind that Bench Boost 2 is where I want to go, and the reason I've gone Bench Boost 2 is because I just think that without the Bench Boost, like if I had picked a Bench Boost 1 team, that team didn't look so great for game week 2. A lot of people talk about free hit game week 2, which I totally get, just because the fixtures aren't great if you've not planned for it. So I just thought, look, why don't I just plan for that week, work backwards and see how that team feels on game week 1, and for me it feels fine. It feels absolutely fine. I'm really happy with my game week 2 team, and I'm very happy with my game week 1 team. And then going forward, if I can get away, the target would be to get to game week 13 for a wild card, but that's a long way away. Things change. I could definitely see me wild carding game week 4. Obviously, once we've got more information about form players, who's looking good, who's not looking good. People like Chelsea and Man City, I know I'm saying I'm going Haaland, but we don't know where they're at fitness wise. So we'll have a little bit more information, and maybe we do want to change things around a little bit. And then we'll be looking at like game week 4 wildcards for after the international break. But let's give you the team. Right, so for game week 1, in goal, I've got Sels. Backup goalie is Dubravka. I'm going double Nottingham Forest defence, and I've got Nico Williams as well. I like the Nottingham Forest defence. Obviously, it was tight last year, although they've scored 1 goal in the whole of pre-season. I think that almost even lends itself to the way of thinking that their defence is going to be shipshape even more. If they're struggling going forward, maybe they're going to keep being resolute at the back. Also this week I've gone for De Kuyper. So he's a new transfer for Brighton, but he's very attacking, scored in their last game in pre-season, as we said. He's home to Fulham. I like that pick. I'm willing to gamble on him. You've got to have a few wild cards in there, a few differentials. I've got Konsa of Villa, home to Newcastle. Obviously that's a tough game, but no Isak. We don't know where Newcastle are going to be. Villa are a good team. They had a great pre-season. Consta's good. Midfield, double Liverpool. But my Liverpool are Gakpo and Wirtz. I love the Gakpo pick. As a Liverpool fan, I think he's going to absolutely clean up. Beginning of last season, for those that remember, before he got injured, he was scoring. He was a massive player for us, and we really missed him when he got injured. He was scoring a lot of goals, involved in everything. As it stands, he's the only option left wing really at the moment. Ekitike can do a job out there, as can a couple of people, but not like Gakpo can. He's got that locked in. He's going to get a lot of minutes. Wirtz is Wirtz. I think he's going to be a great pick. 8.5 million. Very happy with that. Minter was in my previous draft. He's still here at home to Fulham. Minter at Brighton. I just like him. He started the season on fire last year and he's been good in pre-season. I was tempted with Jorginho Rutter, but I think Minter is more nailed for minutes at the moment. Let's see. But yeah, I like him at 6 million. And then a new addition, Bruno Fernandes, is in the team. Again, less so for game week 1. He's more in for game week 2, game week 3. Game week 2, he's away to Fulham. I quite like that as part of my bench boost team. He's deeper. So we think he's going to get DEFCON points, and I think he will. He's still on pens, so he's still got the ability to get assists, get goals, and DEFCON points as well. I think he's a good option. I think he's one that by game week 4, I'm probably going to think about getting out and maybe spreading some of that cash through the defence, because my defence at the moment is pretty weak. I've only got one £5 million defender. The others are all 4.5. So I might reallocate some of that cash once we get past the bench boost. So that's my 4 in midfield. Gakpo, Wirtz, Fernandes, Minter. 4-3-3 this week. And then up top, I've got Mr. Ollie Watkins. Home to Newcastle, as I said. Bowen away to Sunderland. And then captain Erling Haaland away to Wolves. Wolves, let's not forget, without Cunha, without Ait-Nouri. I think City will be up first. New players, they're looking sharp. Well, they were in the Club World Cup and the one pre-season match we saw, but I think Cherki and Reinders have added something to the team, and I think they're going to get Haaland the service that he needs this year. On my bench, as I said, Dubravka, and my final midfielder pick of 5.5, this is looking ahead to game week 2 bench boost, is Martin Zubimendi, 5.5. I think he's going to be good for DEFCON points, potentially assists, and he's a good one that I'm happy to have next week at home to Leeds. He'll play, obviously. Yeah, I don't mind that pick. He's one that will get changed down the line, but for the first few weeks, he's my Arsenal coverage, my one and only Arsenal coverage now. Earlier, I was up for Saka, and I was up for Gyökeres, but they've both gone. I'm like, do you know what? I'm just going to wing it without Arsenal and come to them a little bit later on, like game week 6. Also on the bench, I've got Lacroix of Palace away to Chelsea, and I've got Truffert of Bournemouth, their new left back, who is away to Liverpool. So that's my bench. So I'm just going to run that through one more time. Sells, home to Brentford. De Kuyper, home to Fulham. Nico Williams, away to Brentford. No, sorry, home to Brentford. Konsa, home to Newcastle. Gakpo, home to Bournemouth, as is Wirtz. Bruno Fernandes, home to Arsenal. Minter, home to Fulham. Watkins, home to Newcastle. Sunderland, Bowen, away to Sunderland. And Captain Haaland, away to Wolves. Tasty. No transfers going into game week 2. This team is set for the bench boost. I'm happy. I'm locked in. Let's do it. Will, what are you saying, mate?
Cheers, buddy. Hello, everyone. It's finally upon us, game week 1. So I'm here in the middle of the countryside in sunny Devon on our walk from London to Lyme Regis. We have nailed it. We're on the penultimate day. The sun is coming through the trees just like I planned it. Right, but let's get straight into it. What am I going to do? Right, so outcome is no bench boost for me this week. I'm not going to do it this week. It's very unlikely I'm going to do it next week. Very unlikely I'm going to do it in game week 3. I'm going to wait just as we used to. I'm going to do I'm going to play my wild card, and then probably shortly after that play the bench boost. Or I may even think about doing my bench boost during the African Cup of Nations when we get 5 free transfers for free. So without further ado, let's jump into my team. So I've gone with quite simple backline. I've changed things up from the team that we put together, but I got a lot of information from that. Some players that I didn't really expect I was going to pick. So as you can see, I've got Sanchez in goal, Crystal Palace at home should be a half decent fixture. We'll see, but their future fixtures I think are worth it, and I think Sanchez. There are some better keepers out there, but for now, I just don't think they're worthy with their fixtures. So I'm going to wait until a little bit later before I bring them in. Then I've switched it up slightly and I've gone Diouf against Sunderland. He's been outstanding in the pre-season. Everyone else has got Wan-Bissaka. I thought I'd try and do a little thing, be a little bit different. I was convinced by a few other people that some of my backline needed to be looked at. So I've put Nico Williams, Nottingham Forest. I've gone Pedro Porro against Bournemouth. Pedro Porro, with Maddison gone, he's going to be on a lot more set pieces. He's on some corners. He's also got a belting shot, so I expect him to pick up a return at some point. And then home against Burnley for the first game of the season. So that's pretty decent. I'm very happy with that. So then in the midfield, I've got Salah, Mohamed Salah. I brought him back in, got scared. I feel like I just have to have one of the premiums, like super premiums. Saka's never going to do it for me because he always does crap for me. So I've gone with Salah and I've not gone with Palmer. I've decided to step away from Palmer because just from his performance at the end of last season, if he starts doing bits with those good fixtures, then sure. But for game week 1, just not for me. Whereas Bournemouth at home, depleted Bournemouth for Mohamed Salah, seems like it could come good. Anyway, just to back that up, I've also gone with Gakpo. From the team we put together last week, the information and the fact of he's going to be starting on the left, I don't think he's going to have too much of an issue for the next few weeks with that spot. Then I've gone Bruno Fernandes, questionable, but he's just a bit of a great asset. He's just such a good asset for FPL, so nothing really to say about that. Could do well against Arsenal with some defensive returns as well with the DEFCON points. Ismail Assar, just one of my favourite players, bit of a differential. Think he's going to do really well. Did really well last year. A little bit inconsistent at times, but again, not too bad. The fixtures aren't great at the beginning, but I think he'll do pretty well. Up front, I've got Mateta, same with him. Watkins against Newcastle. Everyone should have Watkins, in my opinion. I think he's the best striker in the game at the moment until Isak comes back. And then I've got Jared Bowen against Sunderland. On the bench, I've got Konsa. Not that he won't be starting for me this weekend, but they've got Aston Villa, as we've discussed in previous videos, got fantastic fixtures coming up. And Konsa's a solid player. And Dorgu, because I think he's going to have an outstanding season this season. Manchester United obviously got a lot of work to do still, but he's been a shining light, and he might pick up a few points. And he rotates pretty well with Diouf from West Ham. Ramsey on the bench in the midfield, and Dubravka rotates well. Once he comes back from next week, this first game week, he might be out for a little while. That's my team. I'm pretty happy with it. Changed it a few times, gone round about the houses, had a look at the bench boost options. I've changed this team so many times, as we all have. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it's going to do me all right. Fingers crossed. Listen, everyone, good luck out there. Game week 1, it's a long season, long way to go. I'm shattered. We're having a little break from our London to Lyme walk in the glorious field, glorious sunshine. A few more miles to go today, and then we'll see how we get on tomorrow. Looking forward to catching up with you, Thomas. Back to you, brother. Peace.
Cheers, Willie. Nice work, mate. Loving the team. Obviously, there's a fair amount of players, not dissimilar to mine, actually. So what's not to love? The big news is obviously Will's gone Salah and I've gone Erling Haaland. That terrifies me to my core. I think Salah will do great against Bournemouth. But my thoughts with Salah and Liverpool in general is that I think the goals are definitely going to be more spread than they were last season. There's no way you can have Wirtz in this team and still be just pumping the ball out to Salah every time like we were last year and all the seasons before. He is no longer the focal point in this team. We've got options. Ekitike is going to be demanding the ball. As I already said, Gakpo shooting from range, cutting in his right hand and his right foot, smashing it into the top corner is becoming like his trademark. We saw the beginning of the last game against Palace. Mo was very quiet. It's going to happen. It is going to happen. So I'm risking it. I'm going against him to begin with, but I think Will is right to go with him. He's got a safe team. There's not much gambling going on in this team. You know, the only new signing he's got in this team that wasn't in FPL last year is Juve at the back. And I like that pick away to Sunderland. Juve's very attacking. But it's a safe team. It's wise to start safe and not be too punchy. So yeah, I like it. Salah versus Haaland, William. We'll see you next week, mate, and see who's come out on top. But guys, they are our teams. Send us in your teams. We'd love to see them. And join the mini league, guys. Last year, we gave away a Premier League jersey. This year, we'll probably do something similar. Still TBC. I'm going to wait for Will to get back and we'll talk properly about it. But the code to join is H5S40X. Get involved, guys. Links in the description. Good luck this week. Deadline is 6:30 Friday night. Peace out. That's a wrap. Hit the music.